Cleveland Guardians. They seem to last year at this time, they were not the favorites to win the AL Central. Have they done enough to come into this preseason as the de facto favorites, full stop? Going to be like 18 pundits out of 18 predict the Guardians to win the division?
I would think so. And it's not even, I mean, they actually spent a little bit of money this winter, which we can get into in a minute. But I think it's just the way that they played in the second half. I mean, they were just a good team. You know, they were a 92 win team who played at a much better clip in the second half. They have obviously a very decorated pitching staff, the incredible pitching pipeline. The offense is still not great, but they have players coming through the system who, you know, they are hopeful will get better. You know, Stephen Kwan, the Naylor brothers, Oscar Gonzalez kind of took a step forward and had a better approach last year. So it's a lot easier to see like why it would work. And then they went out this winter and they added Josh Bell, who I guess some scouts think will really benefit from the shift rules. They added Mike Zunino, who, kind of missed most of last year, but when he was healthy with the Rays was a great defensive presence and he could swing that stick, as they say. So it's a decent club. I mean, I think it would probably not win the American League East, but I think in the Central, they're the clear favorite.
If you had to pick one team, in my opinion, that would see the most significant bump from the new rules, it might be the Cleveland Guardians. Because you got a bunch of dudes who are going to steal 20 bags. All right? They're going to run. They can hit. They're athletic. All right? Like they're 1 year better. Right, we talked earlier about like the Twins, like, hey, they're 1 year older in regards to injury, right? And then that's a reason to have a red flag. Well, Cleveland Guardians are 1 year older, 1 year wiser, 1 year more confident, yet they're still young. There's still a ton of upside, and they can play the style of game that I think if these new rules have like a major effect, like, they could really, really take advantage of them. Now, I happen to think with the stolen bases part of that, it's probably a little overstated what folks are thinking as far as like the actual impact. That said, if you get a bunch of dudes who stole, are 20 base kind of guys that, and like, you increase all of those and they can still hit, boy, what a pain in the ass they're going to be for some clubs. And I think, I think certainly they're good enough to win the division. But also I think they're just fun. That style of play, they're going to create some problems. They're going to end up playing up, I think, from whatever projections they have, because they're going to be a nightmare for clubs to deal with potentially. So, I'm high on them. I think they're a good team. They're super talented. I think this is a case where 1 year older makes them better, not worse.
We give a lot of credit. That's right. We give a lot of credit to teams like the Rays and the Dodgers for their pipeline, and they're making players better, and that's what they do. Let me tell you this story about Tanner Bybee, which sounds like someone trying to say my name when they're drunk. But like Tanner Bybee is a fifth rounder out of Cal State Fullerton, right? And so he's fifth rounder in 2021. And what's his profile? He throws in the low 90s. He's all control and command. Like, he's a guy, he doesn't really project up. He's going to be this guy who maybe he's a fifth starter in the future, as my dogs are idiots behind me. But now he's throwing in the mid 90s. He's throwing like a wipeout slider. His strikeout numbers are through the roof. His walk numbers are still low because he still has that command. They're just going to keep doing this crap. And I don't know if Bybee's going to be in the majors this year, but it's to prove the point. They've got that part locked down like few other teams. I'm going to murder my dogs. Can you hear that behind me?
Yeah, I can.
Idiots. Complete idiots. Anyway, I think they're going to keep doing this crap. If the Guardians, like, if you have one part of the game locked down like that you can build your own depth, then you can figure things out with mid-season trades and all that stuff. All right, I'm out and I'm muting my mic.
It's really interesting with the Guardians were so far ahead of like the pitching machine, so to speak, right? Like building an infrastructure to churn these guys out, and it continues to pay off, even as other clubs have seen that success and tried to match it, or certainly devoted lots of resources to it. No, I mean, I think this is a product of them just being first or being early, and because that's all that extra time to reap the benefits of it. So good for them. Like, it's the kind of thing you got to do when you're the Cleveland Guardians, is to be smarter and target where you're spending resources. And and as a result, the Guardians have that dog in them, as the Chiron says.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good, Brian.
Brian's on today, man. He's on today.
Have that dog in them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, I feel like if I had to pick the team most likely to win their division, I would say it's the Guardians.
I'll go Astros.
Maybe the Astros. I don't know.
I'll go Astros with that. But it's enough where I have to think about it.
You can catch a little Mariners fever. I think the Astros are awesome. I don't know. I just feel like the White Sox, they have some talent, but the Guardians, for me, like watching them down the stretch, the offense is what it is, but I do think, as Mark said, they will probably play up a little bit. They've got, it's one thing when you're dealing with injuries from guys who are, 29 and 30, they're going to get guys going from 25 to 26 and, that much more experience in the big leagues. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Actually, the Astros are going to win their division. They're the best team besides the Braves.
You want some breaking news? Last night, I dreamt that I was at Game 7 of the World Series and the Astros were winning.
Who were they playing?
No idea. It could have been like my middle school teachers. I don't know. But I know that the Astros were winning.